Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are trying to reverse engineer something that for years many people in the music industry thought was, well, complete fantasy.
A total fantasy. We're talking about a collaboration that was seen as not just difficult, but, culturally toxic.
Putting Cardi B and Nicki Minaj on the same track.
Exactly. And our sources really detail this incredibly strategic, almost diplomatic mission, and it was masterminded by MaxB. This wasn't a label forcing a truce.
No, not at all. This was something else entirely.
It starts with Nicki.
Oh, I'm kidding. They painted me out to be the bad guy.
On Monday, she shared this now deleted dollar amount, $4.99. Why is that important? Well, it's the promotional price of Cardi's new album, Am I the Drama, on iTunes, which sold 200,000 album equivalent units in the first week.
Oh, snappity snap snap. If you did my numbers, y'all will pop champagne.
Nicki then clowns Cardi's so-called basic verses, calling her Barney Dangerous and mocking her new hit Magnet.
ABCDEFG.
Yeah, Cardi raps the alphabet, so Nicki does too, with her own twist, labeling the Grammy winner a barefoot and smelly liar with a big belly. Remember, Cardi's currently expecting baby number 4.
Well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stephon Diggs.
Of course, we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Duh.
Still with us? Because this is where Cardi comes in with a picture of her dinner.
Like, oh, I got a whole lot of to talk about.
Yeah, she says, I was really baking ribs and making blondie brownies, and here come this bothering me on a damn Monday. Her comeback? Well, Cardi roasts Cocaine Barbie for allegedly scrambling her reproductive eggs with painkillers before the birth of her son. She even calls out Nicki's brother, who was convicted of child rape in 2017.
Oh, shoot, wait a minute.
And finally, Cardi brings it all back to where it started, the new album. She blasts Nicki for even bringing it up, adding, quote, you need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. I was in high school when you came out. What is you comparing yourself to me for?
That's just not me. I'm a grown woman, too, So as a grown woman, I feel like I should do and say what I want.
This isn't the first time Nicki and Cardi have feuded publicly. In 2018, it came to blows when an ET eyewitness saw Cardi throw her shoe at Nicki during a party at New York Fashion Week.
I feel like people have thrown so many things, so many different crazy obstacles.
Nicki emerged unscathed. Cardi, on the other hand, she came out shoeless with a torn Dolce & Gabbana gown and a big goose egg on her forehead.
So the only thing I said was my outfit, honey.
I know that's right.
Our mission today is to unpack that blueprint. How do you move two, massive cultural forces who had kind of built empires on their tension towards one goal?
Well, first you have to understand the sheer level of hostility he was facing.
Right. This wasn't just some quiet drama. It was public. It was constant.
And it was deeply personal. I have to remember the context here. This went way beyond just competition. We're talking barbs and verses, nonstop social media shade, and then
the shoe. The 2018 Fashion Week altercation.
the shoe. That really drew a line in the sand. It defined a whole generation of women in hip-hop, and you kind of had to pick a side.
And it just kept going. Every time it seemed like it was cooling down, a new album rollout, or even just a cryptic tweet would just reignite the whole thing.
Which is why the industry had completely accepted that this was impossible. Any attempt would just look like a cheap PR stunt.
And it would have failed.
It would have failed spectacularly, and that's why MaxB's role was so crucial. He had to be this neutral third-party emissary. A label exec just couldn't have done it.
Let's unpack the architect here, because if you're not deep in New York hip-hop, you need to get who MaxB is. He's described in our material less as a producer looking for a hit and more as a, well, as you said, an emissary.
Yeah, a unifying force.
Yeah.
His credibility comes from this street-level reverence that, it spans all the boroughs. He's the pioneer of his own sound.
The wave.
The wave, yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, it's this blend of atmospheric, soulful music with really gritty street stories. It's melodic, but it's pure Harlem.
And why does that specific background matter so much here?
It matters because he exists outside the lanes Cardi and Nicki were in. He wasn't seen as Team Bronx or Team Queens. He was he was an authentic New York elder statesman.
So he steps in and he has this core idea that just reframes the entire problem.
He basically told both sides, look, there is so much more power, more legacy, and frankly more money in one record that unites the city than in 10 more viral feuds.
He wasn't selling peace as giving up.
No, he was selling it as the ultimate creative power move. The goal wasn't to squash the beef. It was to channel all that energy into something productive, something that would last.
Okay, let's get into the blueprint itself, because this is where the strategy is just, it's genius. Given how toxic it all was, how did he even start the conversation without everyone running for the hills?
They started small, and he started private. That was the absolute key. The first calls weren't even to the artists. No. He went separately to very trusted people in their inner circles, people focused on legacy, not tabloid headlines. He completely bypassed the usual managers and publicists.
So he gets a tentative yes. Where do
Yeah.
they even meet? Because in New York, the location, it says everything.
It says everything, and it was all deliberate. There were 2 private listening sessions. The first was in this high-end downtown studio, a sign of professional respect.
Okay.
But the second one, and this is the really critical part, was in a community center in the Bronx.
Wow. So you have the downtown prestige, but then you have the grassroots reality. It connects them both back to the city.
It was vital. And MaxB's rule was simple. No phones, no filming, period. This was about craft and community, not clicks. He even invited a few elders of the NYCC to come and speak.
And they weren't there to talk about the feud.
No, they were there to talk about what it means to be an icon from New York City.
Yeah.
But about that responsibility. And that shifts the whole dynamic. It goes from being personal to being about community.
And that leads right into what I think is the most brilliant part of this whole thing, the purpose shift.
The purpose shift. The track was never, ever pitched as just a song to end a feud. From day one, it was framed as a benefit for a really clear, tangible, philanthropic cause.
And what was the cause? Because this is the glue that held it all together.
It was a citywide youth music initiative. And we're not just talking about writing a check. This was about funding free studio time, real mentorship, and equipment for kids in all 5 boroughs.
So by tying the song to building actual infrastructure, he gave them something bigger than their own history to protect.
Yes. The whole risk changes. If this thing falls apart now, you don't just look petty. You look like you're taking away opportunities from kids who need them.
That's some heavy accountability.
That's the core of the strategy. He made it about civic pride, not personal ego. Suddenly, making this record becomes an act of service to New York.
So let's move from the strategy to the sound. The track is called One City, One Sound. How on earth do you create a beat where 2 of the most distinct voices in hip-hop can actually coexist?
I mean, it was a meticulous process. The beat itself is described as smoky and expressive. It's intentionally nonpartisan, It has samples that nod to Harlem Soul, which is MaxB's signature, but also the bounce you'd hear in Queens or the Bronx.
It's supposed to sound like the city itself.
Like Rush Hour, exactly. Complex, a little chaotic, but with this one unified rhythm driving it all forward.
And how did he handle their very different styles? I mean, Cardi's high-energy delivery versus Nicki's super technical lyricism.
He didn't try to make them the same. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
He wanted their differences to be complementary. Cardi's verse is described as just pure Bronx kinetic energy.
A burst of feeling.
Right. And Nicki's is a masterclass in Queen's technical provision. Complex rhymes, storytelling. The song is structured to let them each tell their own story from their own borough.
So it's almost like a short film in its structure.
It really is. The beat builds, their verses are these parallel narratives, and then the chorus hits and brings it all together with that one line. One city, one sound.
That's the anchor.
It's the anchor. And the bridge is where it all locks in. That's where they stop talking about themselves and they speak directly to the community. To the kids, the mothers working late, the corner store owners.
It's a lyrical pledge to the city.
It's a mutual pledge. And to keep it neutral, he brought in producers who hadn't worked much with either of them before, and even a veteran soul musician for live instruments.
And the recording sessions themselves are strategic.
Oh, very. They recorded their verses alone first, to get that raw, honest take. They only came together in later sessions, and those meetings were focused on the kids the song was for.
And MaxB himself is on the track. He's not just behind the curtain.
Right. He provides the final verse. That connective tissue. He brings in that elder statesman voice to bless the whole collaboration.
Okay, so the song is done, the purpose is locked in, but we all know how this goes. Animosity can pop up right before the launch. How did he make sure this piece was real, not just performative?
This is where the rituals of respect come in. And this part is it's critical. Before the final mix was even delivered, he had both artists visit the community center.
Together.
Separately at first and then together. They met the kids who were already in the program. Kids who sang their lines back to them. They saw murals with their lyrics on the walls.
Wow, that's a serious grounding moment. It takes it out of the abstract.
It takes it completely out of the abstract. MaxB designed it to make the stakes human. It's really hard to keep a public beef going when you've just looked a kid in the eye whose future you're helping to fund.
It dissolves the performance.
It instills real accountability. And the rollout was just as smart.
Yeah.
They didn't do some huge stadium premiere.
No, it was a block party, right.
A low-key block party, streamed citywide. All the press was focused on the message, the proceeds, the mentorship program. The question was never who won the feud. It was, look what they built.
So the whole narrative shifted. Instead of squashing beef for clout, it became two icons built something lasting for their city.
And that's the victory. That's why people are calling this the most culturally significant hip-hop moment of the decade. It's bigger than music.
It really is. It's a symbol of unity, a complete rejection of that old narrative that pits successful women against each other. New York City basically reclaimed its role as a leader in the culture.
And it sent a message to every young artist out there. Competition is fine, but unity is power. They didn't just make a song. They built a perpetual funding source for the city's future artists.
You can just picture that final scene. Cardi and Nicki on stage, sharing a nod of respect. MaxB finishes his verse, and then a chorus of kids comes in singing that line.
From Harlem to Queens, we build, we breathe, we shine. I mean, it's a total cultural reset. It proves that the biggest conflicts can be used for the greatest good.
Which really leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. MaxB's entire strategy for resolving this conflict was to pivot away from ego and towards a shared, tangible, charitable goal. Not just writing a check, but building infrastructure. So when you're facing a high-stakes conflict, maybe in your job or even in your own life, is the most effective path to resolution, finding a shared, tangible mission that makes the original fight. Well, that makes it feel small in comparison.
Something to think about as you decide what you want to build next.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.
The women of rap have always struggled to get along, with the media scrutinizing their every move and birthing the belief that there's only so much success to go around for them. There is an inclination towards warfare both on wax and beyond. But if there's any feud that has defined this generation, it's been the simmering Cold War between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. On Cardi B's part, she's come a long way since her formative years, when Nicki was already at the top of the game.
Tell us about your life.
You mean my life as a prostitute?
Yes, as a prostitute.
Oh, well, when I stayed at the Queen, I charged $60.
And from the minute it became clear that they were vying for the same position as rap's crossover queen, things got messy, and have pretty much stayed that way ever since.
New footage of the fight is surfacing. You can see Cardi stumbling across the hallway, held back by her security team. Suddenly, she lunges for Nicki, who is shielded by her security team. Moments later, there's Cardi undoing her shoe, then throwing it at Nicki.
But now, the tension between the two has reached a boiling point once more, and if they're not careful, they might just sink the whole female rap ship in the process, because in light of their most recent battle, it's become the central conflict at the heart of a civil war, like few we've seen before in the game.
You and Nicki gonna be back with Giselle's friend Nicki?
Yes, we love Nicki. We do.
I did too.
You did? Okay.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is how Nicki and Cardi are destroying the female rap wave, one social media post at a time. Well, this story of animosity between Cardi and Nicki goes back to 2017. The latest installment of their feud actually began when a leaked call caused chaos across the rap sphere. After a long hiatus that had people doubting whether it'd ever be released, Cardi B recently dropped her sophomore album, Am I the Drama? Courtesy of the tracklist featuring major hits like Up and WAP, it was technically already platinum as soon as it dropped. But it's since gone double platinum after commanding first week sales of 200K and put it at the top of the charts. But like everything Cardi does, there was an air of controversy to go along with it. Aside from some direct shots at another woman in the game that we'll get into later in this video, Cardi's project dropping was accompanied by an incriminating leaked call that has only intensified her list of enemies. The content of the call revolved around her response to a snippet of Ice Spice's unreleased track, Pretty Privilege, which supposedly takes direct aim at Cardi. On the track, her fellow Bronx MC takes aim, spitting, "She might talk shit on the gram, but she won't talk shit to my face. Poser, she hear my song and copy everything I say. Like what? These dirt. Just be yourself." That shit could work. PR said no clapping back. And while the track alludes to Cardi's closely guarded public image, preventing her from sending shots back, this didn't stop Cardi from going off when she thought it was only for her team's ears. As in the process, she went off on not only Ice, but her old enemy Nicki, and even her Earth Time collaborator and ally, Lotto.
I'ma knock her the out. Oh yeah. I'ma beat her ass. I'ma get right beat up by my y'all gonna see what the is up. You think I'm Lotto? I don't know. Bro, I don't gotta tell you that she said, because I know exactly what the she said. Go on the phone right now.
She's about to do his Empire State Joint.
Yeah, she about to get, she in New York? Tell her to go, where you at? Where your is at? Where your is at?
In the aftermath of the call leaking, Cardi had to do a little damage control to let it be known that any harsh words she had for Lotto were just said in the heat of the moment. She even offered to make amends as soon as possible. I was ranting and hot at the moment, but with Lotto heavy. I respect everything about her, including her team. And no, I'm not too prideful to apologize to somebody I really respect. So this is my public apology, and now I'ma privately buy her a bag. However, not everyone felt that this was good enough, and some fans implored the big energy rapper to ignore Cardi's advances. If you had respect for her, you wouldn't have even brought her name up in an issue that had nothing to do with her between you and Ice. But while potential smoke with Lotto was one thing, what no one knew was that her old nemesis was waiting in the wings. And this time, Nicki was coming for her head. As the chaos unfolded all around Cardi, Nicki seized the opportunity to unload what she saw as home truths about her rival. Barney B had the whole label fly out to Cali to beg me to do a joint tour and album with her. I don't want to have to drop the recorded call. That's why all the sabotage on my tour. Drop the receipts, dumb bitch. You costing them millions with your $4 album and $5 coupon. She's so stupid. Find me, Nicki declared. Remember y'all called the cops on us last time? Made them tell us we had to leave New York because you and your man were afraid for y'all lives? Nah. Drop the receipts. Barney B. You'll be eating out the garbage cans of the Bronx in the name of Jesus. Soon. Along the way, she continued to defame Cardi, and even her family, labeling her eldest daughter ugly for good measure, falling off the charts with a big belly, / running trains, Minaj wrote, barefoot, still smelly, still, you could not outsell me. While most of the content of this rant wasn't exactly anything new, what was strange was hearing Nicki use the same insults and phrases she once criticized Cardi for, even bringing kids into it after previously calling that a low blow.
Calling a dead child a monkey, but telling people somebody talked about your child that never talked about your motherfucking child, so you can get some sympathy points. They can't feed their family because you mad at what another man sticking his side of. You mad at a woman for what a man is doing. And that's the problem with so many black women and women, period. Oh, because she's not black. Because she refers to you black women. Oh, we got the receipts for that too. FYI, she refers to black women as monkeys and roaches. Roaches!
As the internet reeled from Nicki going in on Cardi like that, it didn't take long for the Bronx rapper, who is currently pregnant with her 4th child, to go off. Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag you think it is. You've been in the game for like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with. And you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What are you comparing yourself to me for? In what was a lengthy tirade, Cardi took aim at everything, from rumors that Nicki's drug use made her infertile, and claims that her child with Kenneth Petty is nonverbal, to accusations that Minaj has had a hidden mental illness she's kept from the public. Quiet as kept, the truth is you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years, and you also on heavy drugs, cocaine, perks, and Xanax. Cardi wrote in the post, you don't listen to nobody around you. The only person who has the power is Kenneth Petty, but you know what happens with that Amex when you sedated. Here you go starting again nice and early, you sick, pathetic, loser, ass, demonic, insane. I said it back in 2018, and nobody believed me that you've been talking about my child since I was pregnant. You've been jealous of my child, Cardi continued. I have never mentioned or talked about your kid. It's one thing to be jealous of me, but to be jealous of my kids is insane. You're jealous of my kids because they're beautiful and smart, and that's why God punished you with having a slow-ass kid. Over time, it progressed to threats, with Cardi claiming there would be real consequences for some of what was allegedly said. You said you're gonna kick my child's gums back? Didn't you say that in New York? This past words now. Where the you at? You hate your child because you wish you could brag on him and his milestones, but the only thing you can brag on is hair, you dummy. As the post kept flying back and forth, Cardi even enlisted an image of Nicki's brother, who is currently incarcerated for being a PDF file. And in an attempt to apparently draw a line under it, Cardi issued a scathing final statement, which, in hindsight, was clearly going to do nothing but intensify the war. You don't have no friends, no family, just that man in your house that let you do drugs till you pass out, so he can spend your money and buy the hood chains. I'm not throwing away my career, and my endorsements going back and forth with words with a possessed drug addict. I'll see you when I see you. As the dust settled on this first round, it was unclear exactly who would come out on top. However, people didn't hesitate to pull the receipts in regards to Nicki's claims, while also acknowledging that they had really taken it there with some of their comments.
Good afternoon, it's just for the mess of my news is real. Looks like Cardi B's Am I the Drama album has some hit dogs hollering. Nicki Minaj refers to all of Cardi B's children as monkeys. But when Erica Mena called Shorty a monkey, we tried to deport her. This is crazy. Am I the only one that remembers back in her Queen radio days?
Nicki Minaj would never, has never, and will never speak ill of anyone's child. I am not a clown. That's clown shit.
Cardi B claps back, speaking on Nicki Minaj's son. That slow-ass son that came out your... Now he a whole 5-year-old tiptoeing around the house and can't spell his name. Cardi B also alleged Nicki Minaj's son's favorite color is 5. Oh, that gloves is off. Nicki gotta post her son talking today.
Thankfully for Nicki, the Barbs did that for her, with old footage proving that as of 2024, he could obviously talk.
Yo, how about leave Italy?
Whatever side the internet was on, it was clear that things were unsalvageable, with any love the two once had for each other now being a distant memory. And as the internet reeled from everything that had happened, there seemed to be consensus among even some of the messiest commentators in hip-hop that things had gone too far.
Some of it has been funny. Some of it I wouldn't touch with a 20-foot pole. For sure.
I don't even get into who's right and who's wrong. Just talking about anybody's kid is not okay. Funny, when Cardi said that her kid's favorite color was 5, I said that is not funny. Goes down.
My respect level goes down, though.
Nigga that talk about people's kids. Yeah, that's disgusting. No, that's right.
However, no amount of concern from anyone was going to deaden get into tension, and as shots kept flying, so did the sense that this could really go further than rap. Despite claiming she was done days prior, Cardi insisted there was no fear on her part, or any other major stars when it came to beefing with the queen of the barbs, as she believed that Nicki was deluded about the weight her words carried, particularly after she'd already feuded with the entire industry. Meanwhile, Nicki changed the tactic and tried to hit her pockets, calling her disavowal of brands associated with Cardi. "We will boycott every company attached to her, just like we did with BET. Every company that enabled her disgusting remarks about children and other marginalized groups for years." Minaj wrote on X, "You have 3 days to cut ties. That's it. That's all. Enjoy your day. We have the receipts." Is Walmart and DoorDash okay with Barney B saying that she would get a transgender to rape her man, drug men, dissing children for years? But even as all of this was occurring, Cardi was still about to fight on another front, courtesy of a diss track from City Girls' JT. This was centered around the release of Cardi B's track Magnet, which was believed to take aim directly at the artist with lines like, "Fake friend ass bitch, a clown ass bitch, on the neck kicking your friend while she's down ass bitch, your loyalty depends on who you around ass bitch, backdoor hoe, hating on the low ass bitch, you a shady ass bitch, you've been trashed since birth." She even brought JT's man Lil Uzi into the equation, spitting, "She just mad she got a dude she be sharing bags with. Shh, my dude cheat, but I don't stick no dildos in his ass." In response, JT initially downplayed the track and Cardi's album release as though it were irrelevant. "It's the price of a hot dog. We don't care." And that shit was so weak. She gonna need Jesus to help write when I'm done with her ugly mashed potato having ass. Ew. Dirty non-talented rat. But despite her apparent nonchalance, it was clear that it bothered her a little more than she let on. And soon, she was co-signing some big claims about Cardi B's new baby father, Stephon Diggs. "This is fucking nuts. Gay men should be protected. I feel like this isn't being taken seriously enough." JT wrote on X before adding, "Cardi B's baby father, a gay man, not because of how he dressed or expressed himself, but because Chris said it out of his mouth. Justice for Chris. I stand with the gays." Immediately, Cardi parried this, claiming Chris lied because he was stealing and got caught. There's receipts for that. He lied on Gervonta Davis too, and changed the story 1,000 times. But with Cardi in the market for violence these days, she immediately made things even more personal too. "I want justice for them babies. Your man make you abort every time. Ask what he told me how he felt when he wanted to see Brit in that courtroom, and she didn't show up. Or do I need to play the audio? And don't let me say what he was saying about Rock Nation. Just ungrateful." As the animosity was taken to a heightened level, JT soon put it on record with a diss track, which she debuted on Academics' stream, featuring bars like, "Hope mad, botched up, ugly and pathetic. I'm throwing shots, and hoes gon' stay up to catch it. Bodega baddie my ass. You chopped cheese. That ass looking crazy Cardi in that diaper B." Considering how hard she went, the diss track had Academics thinking it was bound to get even more serious.
Pick up a stick. I'm tired of it. Pick up a stick. Is your profession a tweeter, a podcaster, or a rapper? Pick up a stick. Please, or save these problems and keep it in the drafts. Please, pick up a stick. JT, I thought you wasn't gonna respond, baby girl. I ain't gonna lie. I heard Magnet and it was highly disrespectful. You're meeting the disrespect. You gotta meet disrespect with more disrespect. I'm liking this. Let's keep it music.
But unfortunately for JT, the vast majority of people didn't take it all too seriously, including Cardi. Joe Budden said that he had interactions with management, which made him believe it was a calculated attempt to revitalize her career.
JT, I want to say her people reached out last week like, "Yo, JT, come up there. Next week is going to be a big week." And then I was like, what's that mean? No, don't try to insert me in some shit. So I got caught up with that toxicated view. Don't try to put me in some shit now. And sure enough, as God would have it, some shit. So JT put out 2 diss records against Cardi B.
And from a streaming standpoint, this didn't work, giving the Barty Gang something else to celebrate. No Hook and Keep Coming debuted with a combined 25,934 streams on Spotify in their first day. Congratulations to the girl JT for the worst debut of the year. As for Budden's claims of the whole thing being orchestrated, Saucy Santana lifted the lid and revealed that she'd actively been trying to rally the troops to her team before, and then capitalize on the queen of the world's most vengeful fandom going in first.
Some motherfucking JT whack. No, it wasn't. Bitch, I don't even care about you, girl. I don't think about you like that, mama. So what the fuck was you talking about, bitch, in the first motherfucking place? Every time you bring your ass to the internet and start with me. You bring your ass to the internet and start with me. Bitch, you need to go be whack. You need to go be whacking Nicki Minaj, who played in your face, cracked and scrambled egg on top of your motherfucking head. But you know what? You know what you're not telling the people? Your label was just talking around, scrambling around, trying to recruit people to be on your motherfucking side with this Cardi B beef, and nobody didn't want to. Cardi B dropped 919. You should have been on the internet. 919. Oh, you waited for Nicki Minaj to say something. You waited for Nicki to say something so the barbs could be on your side. Now Nicki Minaj just told the people, hey, zip it.
He even claimed Nicki tried to meddle too, attempting to get Heat and Young Miami to intervene on her behalf.
Had to find out about motherfucking Super Freaky Girl on the internet. I ain't in a group with a hoe and don't tell her that you got a Nicki Minaj feature. The first time you was arguing with Cardi B, bitch, Nicki texts Carisha. You want to say not gonna say nothing? No. They arguing about you. Nobody not getting in that lap dog, roof, bark like that mangy ass smut that you sit at home with, longy bitch. Stop playing games on this internet, how I'm sick of you.
Meanwhile, Cardi is getting real petty about JT's attempts to overthrow her, flexing her wealth as a means to prove her domination.
They keep saying, let's get active, baby. Well, spend a streams in the club. 25,000. Spend your streams in the club. Hating ass, ungrateful ass. I don't care, man. Somebody gotta say it ass. Fake friend ass, a clown ass. From the neck, kick your friend, wash you down ass. Still ain't get no feature ass. You might just now. You might just get one now. Or that how you be doing?
At the moment, it remains pretty unclear where this leads, but there are many individuals who already are giving Cardi the flawless victory due to the fact that she's the one who has the whole world talking and can capitalize on it with her album release.
Cardi ate, okay? She ate. Your diss song was not given diss. It was given like baited, and it was given like jealous, and it was given like very envious. Yeah, that's what it was given, sis, okay? So I just think that you should like take your L and allow Nicki, miserable, like unhappy, unstable ass to continue to crash out for you and steal your spotlight, and then we'll never notice that you took an L. We'll never notice. Nicki is like crashing out for everybody, okay? Believe me, she like stole the spotlight for sure. Like crash out definitely of the year. Cardi got the album of the year, and Nicki definitely has the crash out of the year.
Now basking in the glow of what many see as a successful waging of war on her enemies, Cardi has let it be known that she was trying to conclude the beef and move on.
Tell you something, tonight I'm not listening to Am I the Drama. I'm gonna listen to some love songs tonight because the way I've been in Vietnam, I need to chill. And let me tell you something, I'm gonna go f***ing back to Vietnam and I'm gonna let just have their fun. Have your fun. But when I say I'm pretty and petty as I think they ain't ready enough. They're not ready enough. But have your fun though. I'm gonna let you have your fun. Poor thing. Twitter must be gassing them heavy, making them jump in the ring with the brim before they ready.
And while she's probably going to be capable of doing just that, things aren't that simple for everyone that was involved in this all-out online battle. And for one woman in particular, it appears there might be legacy-altering consequences. As the fallout from the mudslinging between Minaj and Cardi continues, there's a sense that how she acted has spawned a lasting exploration into what exactly Nicki's issues are at this stage. Because in the view of people like Charlemagne the God, how quick she was to crash out is indicative of the ways that she lashes out to try and salvage her position at the top.
Your energy is just stank and nasty. You went from showing a generation how to be a female boss to showing a generation how to be a disgruntled artist. How does that happen? How do you go from inspiring a generation of young women to hating on a generation of young women? Well, that's what happens when a person is in pain. That's what happens when a person is hurting. That's what happens when a person has a bunch of unhealed trauma that they haven't dealt with.
In fact, the public is now so firmly in favor of Cardi that there are viral diss tracks from outsiders who are taking her mortal enemy's side.
Pushing 43, whole career built off a little Kim trend. Your man on the list, that's the brand you defend. Acting like a queen, but you're fighting like a fan. Picking beefs online just to stay in the man. Ain't no throne when your kingdom don't switch. You better just to watch the Quavo had you on your knees, no stances. Sniffing up white, doing cokehead dances. 4 lane, mashing the liquor with a sad flex. Talking queen energy, but you ain't been a mess.
Although this has of course spawned her own defenders in the Barbs, dropping their own diss tracks.
Okay, y'all, we got the Barney B theme song, and y'all better listen up. Okay, but here we go. Cardi is a weirdo, look at all her many faces. She talks shit about kids online, but really she can't take it. Her fans like to play blind, ignoring all her instigations. So Nicki pop out like, yeah, what's all that shit you saying?
But aside from her own fan base, the general view among the public is that this whole situation might have extinguished Nicki's flame permanently.